Everybody, welcome back to Dorks Are Dangerous, episode 6. Bruce, oh my goodness, there is a gun to your character's face.
There definitely is a gun to my character's face. I don't know. These adventures, every time we get back together, they seem to be going from 0 to 60 really fast.
Last episode, we had a lot of emotional turmoil. This one, we're now impersonating dead men and getting shot at, and dead things are trying to protect us or otherwise. It's getting crazy.
Getting crazy for sure. I think we're gonna have some fun. I've thought about it a little bit, but I figured I'd just let myself be in the moment. So here we go, I guess.
Let's do it.
You see Corbin's finger twitching, ready to pull, as the pepper box is aimed at your face. His arm is shaky. It doesn't look like he has the best aim, but it looks like you've definitely shaken him by showing up here. What are you doing?
Where's Core right now? So I'm out in the hallway on the kind of staying out there. Where's Core in relation to Nawada and Creed?
Core's beside, or like ever so. Core's beside Nawada.
Now, I'm in the doorway or inside the office, right?
You took a few steps in.
Yeah. So I'm on the other side of the desk. Is there a chair on this side?
There is a chair on that side, correct.
Then, as he's twitching his finger, I put my hands up and I slowly, with 2 fingers, one in each hand, motion to the chair, give a little nod, and I just slowly move over to the chair and sit down.
Give me a persuasion roll with disadvantage.
Give him inspiration. Because I have that still.
You can give that to him, and then it'll just be your straight roll.
Core would like to be ready if that gun goes off to try and pull Nawada behind her.
Okay.
Nawada now has inspiration.
So a straight persuasion roll.
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. $22. Just out of curiosity, I would have gotten a 17.
22 is pretty impressive. You walk forward slowly, calmly, take the seat, and his arm lowers to keep the gun on you. He looks to Core, and then looks back to you, and then sees another figure out in the hall. And I'm going to give him a roll here. What do you want? What are you doing here?
I thought maybe we could talk things out and perhaps come to some sort of agreement. Clearly, we are on opposite sides of a coin.
There's nothing to talk out. He stammers over his words. He's like, "How did you find me? Why are you here?"
As I said, I'm here to try and work through our differences. If there is something specific that we can discuss, that perhaps you want to call to my attention as directly being responsible for what has almost transpired, I am a man of words. I would prefer to talk this through.
I'm sure you are a man of words. I've heard the words that you speak. I won't be listening to them. He lowers the gun a bit, and feel free to give me an insight, whoever wants to.
Give it a shot with disadvantage.
9.
I'll attempt.
Daily.
Yeah, I'll attempt. It's a disadvantage, so hang on.
Creed.
Oh, nothing. I got a 4.
He shakes his head. He's like, leave my office immediately.
Your friends are dead. They mistook us for someone else, and the thing that killed him might come for you. Maybe you want to work with us.
Rise to see who's out there talking while your back is to the door.
My back's to the door?
I thought you said your back was to the wall next to the door.
I am, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay.
I forgot. Sorry. No, I am. So I come around the corner. I am holding a dagger in my hand, but it's on my side, and I just looking at him, smile. Hello.
He doesn't greet you. He just still looks real nervous as now there's 3 of you and his back's to the wall.
I lean slightly forward, and I say, look, I need you to be absolutely specific as to what you have against me.
He looks to you, and then he looks to the other 2, and then his eyes shift back. You are the speaker for Gratus. You are evil. You bring evil to the city. That's what I have against you.
And you represent good, I assume, is what your perspective is?
He shakes his head. He's like, no. He's like, I represent theology as a whole. As you kind of glance around the room, you do see there are various theological texts here. Many notebooks, textbooks. You're realizing that is what he is the teacher for at the academy.
I look over at Creed. Bookworm.
I was just about to ask. Professor, we do not know each other. I understand you're under a lot of stress, but what if I were to tell you that your beautiful academy here might be under the influence of said evils that you are so concerned about?
He looks to you and then looks back to Nawada or Alvin Lockwood and kind of holds his hand out towards him. He's like, evil is here. Evil is in my office right now.
Evil is subjective and blinding, and you, sir, might have wool over your eyes.
He shakes his head. He's like, you obviously killed my friend.
I did no such thing. I know what? Well, I know an idea of what did. But curious, if you don't mind my asking, you probably do, but whatever. What subjects do you teach at this academy?
Theology.
Only theology is at this academy? I assume you teach theology, but any other professors? Any other studies?
There are all sorts of different studies going on here. Why do you ask?
What of the medical practice of leeches for the modern day science.
He looks at you, even more confused than why you're all still talking to him.
I have reason to believe your, if you have one, a medical department is passing notes of the infernal kind. And as a man of theology and terrified of the evil of the world, usually you don't want infernal under your roof.
Still doesn't explain why you're here. Why, he motions once again to Alvin, why he's here.
Professor, if I may.
I'd like to close the door behind us, just to give some privacy and step into the room. I'm still listening to the hall to make sure no one's passing.
Okay.
Would you possibly believe that everything isn't quite as you think it is? Not as it seems. What if I were to tell you that I am not a true speaker of Gratus? What if I told you that I have an ulterior motive and am trying to find out the depths of the evil you speak?
Give me a deception roll. He gives you a moment to say that, and it looks like he takes a moment to seriously register what you're saying and how you're saying as he looks at you. And then you see he raises the pepper box up to his head and looks at you and shakes his head. He's like, no. He's like, I won't be a victim to your lies.
I'm going to throw the dagger before he pulls the trigger to try and knock the gun out of his hand.
All right, give me a attack roll.
It's an attack roll? Okay. So the dagger... 17 to hit.
Okay. You throw the dagger. You hit him right in the side of the hand. You put a pretty good gash in it, and he loses the pepper box. It hits the ground.
I grab it with
We're
mage
just gonna
hand.
lunge for it.
Yeah, we're all going for it.
Oh, okay. It starts to hit the ground. You quickly cast Mage Hand to catch it in place, and Core, you grab it through the Mage Hand. Never hits the ground, never discharges, but your quick thinking, quick reaction time prevents that from happening. He grabs his hand in shock that you did that and looks up, and he's genuinely terrified.
Bree would like to, hands raised, approach him. Very slowly, but it's okay. Calm down.
He's backing
Just-
off.
I understand. And I'm looking around the room for, like, cloth or anything. To cast something.
Yeah, I'm sure you see something. He's
I
like,
grab...
get back. Stay away from me. All of you.
I just want to hand this to you for your wound. That is a nasty cut. And I'm gonna slide the cloth to the edge of the table. I'm not gonna get closer, but I'm gonna slide it to him. I'm gonna take a step back. We're not here to kill you. We don't want to. We just want a conversation with you.
Can we cut all the vague bullshit and just be a little bit more straight up?
I was thinking the same thing.
It's not going anywhere.
So he can see. I change my appearance to Yuda.
Okay. He blinks in shock as your facial structure completely changes to another person entirely, and looks around. He's like, what sorcery is this? Or actually, I'm sorry, you changed to a changeling first for a split second, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So that he could see what I was just from him, but I didn't want him to get a solid look at my face in a way that he'd recognize my face as a changeling, more just that I am one.
Okay, that's ideal. Okay, in that case, he knows what you are. What's that roll?
I say, Professor, you can trust us. We came in here to talk to you, to find out what was happening. You can clearly see that I am not Alvin. I'll tell you this right now. Clearly, I am not Alvin. We came here under the pretense that you might have information of Alvin, and you might be willing to speak with him. We did not realize what he represented until you just told us. So you've been actually extremely helpful, and we're very gracious. Thus, I say again, we are trying to find out the true depths of the evil, because we have a tie to that as well. We want to undo what's happening, but we need to understand more.
Give me a persuasion roll. Just one more for the scene, I think. Okay. 11. Well, that's good enough.
I haven't moved. I'm still in the chair, being as very unthreatening as I can.
Okay. Perfect. He slowly moves back over to his chair, and he takes the cloth and he wraps it around his hand and squeezes his fist so just to stop the blood from flowing. And he looks to the group of you. He's like, you all can really work on the way that you come at people. It may help you in the long run. He grits his teeth and squeezes his hand. He's like, I know what you are now. How did you come about deciding to look like Alvin Lockwood?
We found Alvin dead, attacked on the side of the road.
By ghouls.
We do not know if the ghouls were a method of saving him potentially, or if he was the target of them, though.
It would seem odd that the ghouls would target him. However, anything can happen out there in the woods. He squeezes his hand a bit more and looks around to the group of you. He's like, Alvin Lockwood was the nightmare speaker of Gratus. He was a high-ranking member of the cult. Was a high-ranking member of the cult. Bomdeg, my friend, who you're telling me is now dead, was taking on a bounty from the Church of Stella in order to bring in Gratus for his crimes against humanity.
Do you know if Alvin was found out by his church? If he did something to piss them off, so they would want to get rid of him? Someone so powerful in the church being exposed is not ideal if you're trying to stay undercover, as it were.
Well, he was undercover. You all stumbled onto it, from what it appears.
But you knew his name. Would that not compromise him?
Only if they knew that I knew. No one knew except for myself and Bomdeg.
And you trusted Bomdeg with your life?
I've known him for many years.
That's not the question I asked.
I obviously trusted him with my life.
Thank you. Just making sure.
You tell me he's dead now?
Yes, after he mistook our friend here for Alvin, they locked us in the buildings you bought. Nice building, by the way. Fresh coat of paint was a little strong. And as we were in there, something attacked them in the back alleyway. We were able to discern it is either a fae, a fiend, or an undead being. But that is all I was able to pick up in the moment. And whatever killed them is still in the city as far as we are aware.
We even tried to help Bondag and stop his bleeding, but we were far too late.
He frowns and nods his head. I think there's been an increase in presence of Gratus cult members that have been entering the city in recent weeks. Something is going to be happening here. And I have a feeling that with the information that Alvin was coming here, based off the letters that I'm sure that you found, that they may have planned something to go down within the next month or so.
Speaking of cult members, this may be a long shot, but do you know of a student, first name Edwin, glasses, a student potentially of medical practice in your academy?
He shakes his head. He's like, there are a lot of students here. I tend to only focus on mine. I'm sure I've seen at least a dozen, and then a dozen more that represent what you describe.
Is there a professor of medicine, perchance?
There is, yes.
What is their name?
Osborne.
Are you friends with Osborne? Do you know them well?
He's a mutual acquaintance. He's a
How
work
long-
colleague.
How long has he been at this academy?
About 15 years.
She nods, tucks that information away for later.
What do you know about the Church of Stella?
It is the foremost church of the land and has been for many centuries. You have proficiency in religion, correct?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, so you're pretty familiar with the Church of Stella. You know, the goddess of battle, honor, and glory, especially seeing as you've been in military services. You've definitely been with a lot of more upstanding members of the military that follow her. A lot of paladins. That is the go-to paladin deity to follow.
Got it.
That is your lawful good. Scales of justice will swing to good.
Professor, as you can see, we do have some interest in this. Is there a way that we might help? What can you tell us? How can we help to maybe alleviate this or find out more for you? Or
The more you can find out about what members of the Church of Gratus have come here, the better it would be for everyone. If you're willing to help, you have a huge advantage on anyone else. They're going to come looking for you. He kind of uses his hand just to gesture the previous looking you. Whatever cult is in the city will know you by name and more than likely by appearance.
Do you happen to know the call signs that the cultists are using? We know one end of it, we don't know the responding call sign.
He looks over to you and he raises his brow a bit. He's like, so they've already reached out to you and tried to contact you, you think? What did they do?
She gestures left hand to right ear, pretending to clean her ear. This was back in Jellicott. They did it several times, but we did not know the return signal, so they walked away from us. We found them dead, not a few hours later, by your, I assume, dwarven friend, if that is a friend of yours.
He nods. He's like, Bombdag did say that he would be in Jellicott first, and those are probably 2 cultists that he had found beforehand. And he nods. He's like, if they come to you with that, and his attention turns to Nawada. It's like, use your right hand, roll your shoulders back, and run your fingers through your hair.
So just so out of character, so use your right hand to roll your shoulders back and then comb your through hair?
More like run your right hand through your hair while your shoulders are rolled back. I probably could have picked a better order to give that in, but you got it.
Oh, I've got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Got it. Thank you. That is very helpful.
He nods.
Cool. Creed, what do you think? What do you think?
Was that Bombdag person undercover with the cultists then?
He's like, I don't believe so. Maybe in Jellicott when he first made contact. And if you're saying that they ended up dead, more than likely he was covering up his tracks there.
Right, because I think we saw him with them in Jellicott, right?
Yes, you did. Bombdag had researched the Cult of Gratus for quite some time. He had a lot of information.
Is it safe to assume he shared this information with you extensively?
He shakes his head. He shared with me what I needed to know in order to remain safe and alert.
Do you know where he would have kept this information, if not on his person?
He shakes his head. He's like, probably in his mind. I don't think he would have recorded it.
That's a damn shame.
Professor, did he ever tell you how Gratus communicates with his followers? If there was ever a ritual, a practice the god did?
Gratus was to make contact with his followers. It would probably be during their dreams at night.
Creed looks to Kor and Nawada, and if a red tiefling can go pale, she has gone pale.
She's like, what's wrong? Has he tried to contact you?
Nightmare speaker, right? That's what you said.
That is the title that they're given.
I've been having nightmares nearly every night for the last 3 months. Same dream. Every time.
Is this your first time in Port Basselorn?
Is it my first time in Port Basselorn?
I think so. You could tell me, but I'm pretty sure it's one of your first times here.
She nods.
From what I've gathered, nightmares have become far more prevalent here, especially within this last week. I've heard students say that they've had a harder time getting to sleep. Not all of them, but just in casual conversation. And that was kind of a tip-off for me.
I've had nightmares before coming here.
And they're probably intensified. There's a tavern. Twilight's Tavern. He reaches over to his bookcase and takes a small book out and sets it down and slides it over to you. And you see it's for Twyla, the dancer of the dreams, who's another major deity, definitely favored, especially amongst travelers and things like that. There's a tavern here dedicated to Twyla. I think if you go there, you may be able to have a peaceful night's sleep for once.
Creed looks at the book a little suspiciously, and then looks to the professor. Does kind of like a reluctant head nod, takes the book. Thank you for this. Puts it in her bag.
He nods. He's like, it's starting to get late. People are going to be questioning why I'm still here, talking with you three. Meet me here tomorrow morning, and I will gather any other information that I have.
Do you have a safe way of getting out of here? Just in case I don't think anyone saw us come in, but I don't know.
I'm going to be leaving with a large group of people. So,
stay out of the alleys. Do not sleep alone. Maybe if you have a way to get a bodyguard for the night, just to be safe.
He nods to you. He's like, I'll definitely look into that. And he looks down at the blood-soaked rag covering his hand. He's like, I may get this stitched up first.
Kor will pass his gun back to him along the desk.
Thank you. He gives you a slight smile as he takes it and puts it back in the desk.
Maybe keep it on you instead of in the desk.
He nods and looks around to where he can keep it on himself as he's wearing all robes and leaves it on the desk for now. He's like, that's probably a good call, just to be on the safe side.
Professor, is there a back door out of the academy, a less ostentatious exit?
He nods. He's like, there's a lot of entrances in and out. I'm sure you will be able to find one without much issue. That tavern isn't far from here either.
I ask for directions, get a general idea where we're going.
He gives them to you.
Okay.
It's maybe like a 10-minute walk from here.
Is there something that we might do between now and when we see you tomorrow?
Just keep an eye out for anyone looking to make contact with you.
Earwig, fingers in hair, yes, got it.
They may find it odd if Alvin is going to the Tavern of Twyla. So you may want to keep that face for your time there.
The one I have now?
While you're there.
Yes. No, that's not a problem. We're trying to invoke the correct responses in the correct places. So if you can guide us in that, say, tomorrow, where if we go to meet someone, or if we're trying to gather information in the right places, that I don the correct appearance.
He nods. He's like, I'll do my best to guide you. Ultimately, I think you're far more privy to your ability and your own better judgment.
Yes, of course, but you know the town far better than we do.
That is true as well.
And thank you for not shooting me and giving us the moment.
He nods. It was very close. Someone was going to get shot.
Speaking of which, she goes up, grabs her dagger, and then wipes it off on herself. Puts it away and goes, sorry about your hand. It felt needed.
Was probably for the best. So I will see you all tomorrow. First thing in the morning, hopefully.
Shining, Professor. Again, thank you.
He nods to you.
Creed throws on her hood and heads out the door, peeks her head out the door, see if anyone's out there listening and hanging in the corners.
Nope, no one's out there.
The close is clear if we want to go now.
Let's.
You guys leave his office. You're able to traverse the academy without much issue. You do find a side entrance or exit, depending on how you want to look at it, to slip out. And you guys are free of Promedy Academy.
Can I just do a general perception check, like rooftops, alleyways around us, or investigation, whatever that needs to be?
Yeah, you take a look around. You don't see anyone watching you. Maybe a glance here and there. But nothing out of the ordinary. No one seems to be hawking you.
Well, should we... What time of day is it? Is it like shops are closed, or...?
It's probably like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. It's starting to become evening.
Well, do we want to try to buy anything in town before shops close, or do we just want to head straight to the tavern? We might do with another health potion. If not, I can try to make one, but it will take me some days.
We may... I think shopping might be a very good idea. I think we're all right at this point. Alvin is in the pocket. He's good to go. I think that with other appearances we can travel safely. So I think finding some places to acquire the items that we need from time to time would be a good thing, depending upon how long we're here. And finding an extra elixir would not be a bad idea if we can afford it.
Cora, what do you think?
I think getting you a good night of sleep is definitely the priority, but if we want to look at shops first, that's no problem.
To see what the wares are and how much it costs, not a bad idea. If I pass out on my feet, I pass out my feet, but I'll be fine for a few more hours.
Maybe we can find something on the way to the inn. Let's find a place, get a good belly full, and where are we going to try and find sleep?
The Twyla Inn?
Yes.
Twyla Tavern.
So
Twyla
we'll go
Tavern.
there, get a good belly full, and finally get you the rest you deserve.
Sweet Satan, please. Alright. Looking for shops on the way to the tavern.
Okay.
Specifically, anything to do with like health potions, specifically apothecary something.
Yeah.
You do see a couple of apothecaries. You see some herbalist. stores, mostly selling ingredients, seeing as this is a college town for all intents and purposes, letting them get the ingredients so they can work on their projects and things like that. But you figure that they probably do have some for sale and some to move.
I look for the first available one and go in there.
Okay. You go into the first shop. See there's a old man behind the counter. Gnome man, old by gnomish standards. He's got a long beard, long black and white hair running down the back of his neck. He looks up and he smiles to you. He's like, "Hello there. What can I do for you today?"
I was wondering, do you have any healing potions, basic variety in stock, already made?
Already made? He's like, "I think I may have one or two floating around."
How much would that run me for?
He holds up a finger and he starts doing the math in the air. He's like, 55 gold.
55 gold. Oh.
Inflation.
Let me see. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how much I have. That's enough, okay.
Alright, well, perhaps I will come by again later at the day. Thank you so much. I'm a little light on coin for that right now.
How light are you on coin?
1 platinum is 10 gold, right?
Yes.
I only have 34 gold.
Well, I mean, you can count my platinum, and then also I have a crossbow here that we could barter for, or with.
Yeah, we have a bunch of stuff that we were gonna sell potentially.
Yeah,
That's
let's barter.
true.
Sir, I know this is an apothecary, but are you in need of any tools, weapons, or anything of that nature?
He shakes his head. He's like, "No, but there's a general store about 2 blocks that way." Points out and down the street. He's like, "Anything that you found along the way, by luck or bad luck for some people, I don't want to know. They may be interested in taking it off your hands for you for a fee."
Then should we go there first, friends? Come back if you don't mind, sir, holding on to one of those potions for me for a little bit?
He's like, "I don't think I'm going to have a run on potions, but if I do, I'll consider holding on to one for you."
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
So, what is your name?
Jeb.
You cut out, I think, at the beginning. What was that?
Jeb. Just call me Jeb. If I gave you my
Jeb?
full name, Jeb. J-E-B.
Okay.
Oh, Jeb.
I heard
Jeb.
Chubb, and I was like...
He's like, "If I gave you my full name, we'd be here for another 20 minutes. So
Gosh, right.
consider yourself lucky. Just call me Jeb."
Wonderful. You have been very, very helpful. Thank you, Jeb.
He's like, "Of course. Good luck. Have fun.
Yeah, let's
Don't
dash
let-
over there.
Don't let him undercut you by too much."
Speaking of names, it probably would have been great to actually introduce ourselves to the professor.
I thought of that, but I held my name back just in case. Because, I mean, the great thing is he knows me as Alvin. He's seen me as Yuda.
And if he's not there come the morning, he doesn't know who we are.
We say this as we're walking out the door, so there's not a gnome overhearing us.
Right.
Absolutely.
We can always rectify that in the morning.
You make your way to that general store. It's a fairly common-looking building. Wood door, wood frame, 2 big windows, a lot of random things. Like you see a sword there, you see like half plate of armor, you see shovels, rope, backpack, lot of stuff that's been brought in over the years. There's a woman behind the counter, half elven, looks kind of on the younger side, maybe in her early 20s, red hair pulled back into 2 braids, green eyes. Smiles to you guys as you come in. The little bell rings. She sits behind the counter.
Good
evening.
How are you? Good evening
Not-
to you.
Not too bad. How about you, dear?
Oh, long day, but it's over. The evening is young, and we're wondering if you are in the mood to buy some items that we have acquired on our trip.
Like, it depends on what you got. I'll take a look for sure, darling.
So Creed has none to loot, so
She motions to the countertop. She's like, lay anything out here that you're looking to sell, and I'll take a look at it. See if there's anything here that I can take, that I think I can move.
I present the crossbow, of course.
She holds it up. She looks over. She's like, a little bit of blood on that, but nothing we can't rub out. She looks to your group out of the corner of her eye, like, where'd that blood come from? You know what? I'm not gonna ask.
I tell her it's tried and true.
She's like, I've seen that tried and true. You're bringing it in. She smiles to you.
I'd like to keep it, but we do need the coin.
Of course.
We're trying to acquire a healing potion. Jep, over 2 blocks over, sent us over.
Well, good old Jeb. He's sending me business, so I won't undercut his. So, is this all you're looking to move?
Core, I guess, will lay out the 4 short swords, 3 daggers, and 3 cut-up leather armor that we have.
forget she's like loaded with weapons.
Nicely done.
Also, are there any hand axes in the shop?
Yeah, you see there's 2 there.
Excellent.
That was awesome. I pull up one little, well, it's a large crossbow, light crossbow. She starts whipping out all of these.
So Sinbad, where he's just like pulling out all the weapons.
Yeah.
How much leather did you say?
So it was the 3 leather armor, but it was cut up. So
Okay.
do with that what you will.
Okay.
3 daggers and 4 short swords.
She looks at you guys. She's like, you run afoul of someone, or does someone run afoul of you?
Bandits, you know how they are.
They've been awfully busy as of late, from what I've heard.
Hey, do tell, I love a bit of gossip.
Yes.
Well, I've just been heard that they've been out there more often lately.
We
That's
found
it.
ours, just to let you know. We found some out on the river. So if you could enlighten us as to other places to avoid or to, dare we say, to relieve them of their bandit type weapons and accoutrement.
Well, the river is pretty inventive. I didn't expect to hear that. I will say, though, that the roads, they usually stick to the roads pretty much. It's easy to find travelers that aren't expecting to be attacked, thinking that the highway patrols will take care of them. She looks some stuff over, and she kind of puts the leather in a pile, and then she puts the daggers together, short swords, the light crossbow. She looks all over and kind of juggles her hands a bit. She's like, I could do 20 gold for everything.
How much is one of your hand axes? One of mine ran off with a bandit.
She chuckles a bit. 5 gold.
Well, I'll take one of those then.
She walks over to the wall where there's one hanging, takes it off, puts it down in a separate pile. She's like, is there anything else you're looking for?
Oh, I think. I'm certain that we can do better on these than 20 for the lot.
Give me a persuasion roll. What are you thinking?
I'm doing quick math right now. Let's see. So 3, 6. What? So was it? It was. I realized it's beat up, but it was light. Was it light or light? Was it just leather?
Leather.
And there were 3 of them.
Yep. They aren't wearable, so it's just
Right.
scrap.
No, yeah.
Yep.
Like I said, I know they're quite beat up, but quick math here.
If only one of us knew prestidigitation.
Do I?
Do
Not
you?
yet. It's
Okay.
it's on the way. Trust me. It was one of the options.
So close.
Wada doesn't have a calculator, so what's your quick mental math there? And your roll.
Well, in persuasion, right?
Yes.
6.
Oh,
So
my
that's
God.
a 1. She looks to you and looks at all this. She's like, I'm just taking it off your hands. I'm doing you all a favor. Like, I think 20's pretty fair. Well, 15 now with the hand axe. But considering all these came from bandits, then they should probably be turned over to the authorities. But I'm always willing to look the other way if you're willing to look the other way, and you can leave us some coin. I may be able to move this. I don't know. I may sit on it for the next 3 years.
I think I think we can do better. I'm sorry that we couldn't come to an agreement. Perhaps in the future. The 20 is nowhere near where we need to be. I do know the value of a lot of these things. A well-functioning crossbow can fetch upwards of 20 to 25.
Sure. She's like, but it's used. It's used. It has some blood stains on it. It's kind of dirty, but that's not a big deal. We can fix that up.
Exactly.
And again, I may never sell it.
You may not, and that's all right. We can do better. And I gather up the crossbow and I hand the swords and the daggers and the leather all back to Cor.
Oh, right.
See if she changes her mind. If we want to buy the hand axe outright, let's do that.
Yeah, Cora's putting the weapons away, but she slides 5 gold over and grabs the hand axe.
She smiles. She's like, well, it's still a pleasure doing business with y'all.
And we'll leave, if we come across another place, we can try that. But otherwise, we'll have to wait on the potion then, or see if we can barter better with Jeb or find another place, because
Fine.
that is drastically undercut. We're looking, all that stuff new is worth probably close to 100 gold. Even if you cut that in half with the leather armor, 50 would be a minimum range that we could easily get. We should easily be able to part with this and get the potion. Let's put it that way.
And
So-
if all else fails, I can make one. It'll just take a few days.
Yes, it's fine.
So the buying rate is going to be around 30%.
Mhm.
And then the leather armor are just scraps. So
Yeah,
even though leather armor is 10, she was giving you 1 for each of them.
Yeah, I figured that was really low.
But you take your stuff and you make your way out. But Cor does have a new hand axe.
When you have that crappy of a roll, you have to expect that crappy of a deal.
How excited is Cor to have a hand axe? Can I see in her face that there's a smile?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a smirk as she straps it to her side again. It just the weight is balanced properly again. It just feels.
Oh, that's right, because
Nice.
you buried it into a
Oh, yeah.
bandit and you swam away with it.
Yep. So now she's got one on each side again, and it's just properly balanced. Feels good.
And then she has a great axe too. Is her other big weapon?
Yeah, and she's got some javelins on her back also.
Nice. Okay. Well, shall we just head to the tavern?
Yes.
we head to the tavern. Let's go. Or you want to go do something else?
Tavern works fine for me.
Fantastic. I am starving.
You guys make it to the tavern. Twyla's Tavern, as previously stated, named after Twyla, the goddess of dreams, basically. The dancer of dreams, the tiny terror, the dancing darling, some of her nicknames. Place feels very relaxing once you get there, especially now that it's starting to become later at night. See, there's a lot of students in there that are studying. You see there's a bard playing on stage with several other musicians accompanying them. Otherwise, the place is pretty full for the most part. You see there's two women behind the counter that are kind of taking care of everything, but as they move, they kind of flow and twirl and kind of dance in their own way around each other to wait on people. No one greets you as you come in. You think that it's probably too busy for them to notice you offhand.
Is there an open table or some bar stools somewhere that we can see?
You look around and you do see an open table. You see two students just got up and left.
I will secure the table. Do you want to come with me, or see if we can flag down a bar maiden?
Whatever works. Might as well get a room. First thing, it seems pretty packed in here. We need to make sure we get one for you, Creed.
Doubt I can find a corner. It'd be fine. But I agree. Let's see if they have what they have. We go ask the barkeep or barmaidens if there's a room available.
Behind the counter, there is a elven woman, very pretty, long black hair flowing down over her shoulders and down her back, wears a pretty blue dress, very frilly at the bottom. So when she spins out of their other barmaid's way, the dress twirls around, very spectacle of it all. She pirouettes and stops in front of you all and smiles. She's like, "Welcome to Twyla's Tavern. My name is Carol. How can I help you today?"
Evening, Carol. Pleasure. Do you have any rooms? Even just one available?
We have several rooms available still. How many do you need?
Creed looks back to the party. Do we all want one or just one?
Just one works for me.
Yes, one is fine.
She nods. She's like, "If it's just one room and the three of you are sharing it, it'll be 2 gold for the evening."
Creed passes 2 gold.
She takes it and she grabs the key and she places it on the bar top for you. "Will you be needing any food, drink?"
Please.
Will you? And she motions off to a side room where you see there's the common room, but past that you see there's a temple. She's like, "If you need to pray to our goddess Twyla, then you're free to spend as much time in there as you need."
That's generous, thank you.
She smiles. She's like, "Of course." So you get your food, your drink. It'll be another gold. It's a little bit more expensive here, but you're probably getting a lot better quality. And if what Corbin said before is accurate, you're going to get a better night's sleep, so paying a little more is probably going to be worth it.
Is that 1 gold each person, or 1 in total for the food?
1 in total for the food for everybody.
Alright, I'll remove mine. And good food is worth paying for, in Creed's opinion, so...
Definitely.
So there's the common room you said above, like kind of past the immediate chatter of the room with all the students, and it's more empty in there, or?
The common room is kind of empty for now, as people really haven't taken up time to sleep or anything. And you figure a lot of these are townies, so they either have a place in Port Basselorn or they're staying on the Academy's campus. So just seems like a good place to come, study, relax. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of stress here. Seems like a kind of popular place to be.
Is it
And the-
tourist trappy?
This place isn't. It's very religious-y. There's a lot of iconography for Twyla. A lot of dancing murals, a lot of wisping patterns, even in the woodwork. Might not even be painted in, but just the way that the wood looks like it was cut. Looks like everything is in a constant flowing motion.
Are there tables in the common room, or is it purely just like a sleeping area?
It's a sleeping area for the most part. There is a table or two in there. A couple of chairs, just in case people want to stay up later and talk.
Should we go sit in the common room? A little quieter, we can hear ourselves sink in there. Or do we want to be out here?
I think either will be just fine. Seeing the people come and go could be advantageous, also in helping to perhaps cover our conversation. But at the same time, if we need to calm down and wind down, then the other room might be better.
Yeah, careful what you say in a quiet room.
Out here it is then. We'll go find that table that those two students got up of if it's still open.
It's still open.
Okay. We'll sit there. Is that in the middle of the room, corner of the room?
Off to the side.
Cool. Okay. Creed
And-
would like to... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, they bring you over your ales and your food. It looks like it's some sort of fowl, whether it's turkey, chicken, or a hybrid of the two. Lathered in gravy. There's mashed potatoes, couple of rolls, corn and carrots kind of mixed in with everything. Piping hot plate of food, though, for you all.
Cor Nawada might have just seen a tear roll down Creed's cheek in pure joy. Can I pull out the book?
Sure.
I'd like to open it up and just kind of start thumbing through it, see if anything catches my eye.
Is there anything you're looking for in particular?
How does Twyla communicate with her disciples? How does she do it? Is she hostile to those potentially possessed by other gods?
So the way that you are looking through it and kind of how you're taking it, Twyla is usually represented as some sort of fae, whether it's a fairy, pixie, dryad, any sort of variation of that. Her domains are Tempest, Twilight, and Trickery. So that's why she's the Tiny Terror, because she has that fae, mischievous streak to her. You know, it's not meant to be hostile, but it can be kind of annoying at times. However, at night, she ends up looking after travelers, looking after those who are trapped in a bad place mentally, in their dreams. So you get the feeling that this is a place that Corbin suggested probably for that reason. Seeing as Gratus wants to take over your nightmares and wants the world to perish, Twyla is much more of a free spirit in that regards. As you're looking through it, you do see there are a couple of commandments that you come across. One is teasing can lead to tragedy if one isn't careful. The other, when the daylight is at its lowest and the night starts to darken, is where the mischief can begin.
Those are the two I pick up the most.
Yeah, those are the two main commandments that you notice of Twyla. So you could cause trouble as long as it's not malicious, and it's all in good fun and spirit.
I think I like this god.
I think I like this god as well.
Yeah, that checks out for the two of you.
I turn to Creed and Core, and I say, I really must say, thank you both for not letting me get shot. I greatly appreciate the stand-up in front with the professor.
You didn't do yourself many favors in that regard.
Oh, how so?
On the whole, not getting shot bit, walking in looking like him.
To be
Yes.
fair, we did go along with it. Maybe could have told him no. But at the same time, no other would do the same for us, no?
Well, absolutely. But in all reality, we had no idea how the professor was going to react. And a pepper box hidden away in his desk. There's a surprise. This just keeps getting more and more interesting as we go. When a professor feels the need to arm himself in his class, in his office, that says that there is drastically something out of alignment here.
That point, circling back to what Cole said about us, for lack of the better term, waltzing in looking like the thing he's been chasing, we probably do need to be more careful with our antics. At least in some regard. It was fun though. Did you see the look on his face? My god, I've never seen someone shit themselves so quick.
Agreed.
Is there anyone in the room looking at us? Just a casual glance about the room. Is anyone just clocking us weird?
Nope, no one's really paying attention to you guys. Everyone has their own lives, their own studies, everything else that they are focusing on. Not you guys. You obviously get a bit of more of a look every now and then. Feral tiefling. But at first, like, oh, there's a devil in here. Well, we're probably fine in here. Whether it's ignorance or racism or just shock, people do.
Face I see that looks at me like that, I just want my eyes to quickly change colors with thaumaturgy. Just real quick, split it, just to spook them a little bit and just keep going around the room.
A lot of these are college kids that don't have much real world experience, even in the Neo Kingdom. They still seem like they're more prepped. They're from higher ends more so than delicate. When you do that, they turn a little pale and mind their own business even more so at that point.
Cree just chuckles, eats her stew.
So petty. Anything else you guys want to go over tonight before you sleep? Or at least see if you can.
Yeah. If someone else has something, I'll go first, and then I'll jump in. It's just some...
I thought maybe you might want to go back and visit the temple.
Yeah, might be a good idea for you, Creed.
You're not wrong. That is... I've been debating it. I'm not fond of the... I study religion. I'm not good with practicing it, but it's probably a good idea to pay homage to the god I'm trying to seek refuge in. But I wanted to ask, cool, maybe this isn't the time, but we've joked about it off and on about you not wanting to come with, being reluctant. Do you regret your decision coming with me that day?
That's quite the question, Creed.
Quite a journey.
It has been. I don't think that I regret coming with you, no. But there has been a lot to think about in recent days.
Think you'd want to stay around just a little while longer if you are not wanting this?
I'm fine to keep traveling with you after whatever this ends up being is done. Maybe some distance from Delicate and Port Basilorn will be good, though.
And where do you want to go? If you could go anywhere in the world besides home, because we know you like home, but where would you want to go?
Don't know the names of many places. Far away from here and from Delicate, and far away from killing anyone else that I used to run around with. I think that'd be preferable.
In that moment, Creed looks to Nawada, looks back at Gora. I think we can do that pretty easily.
Good.
So that was a friend of yours? If you don't mind talking about it. If you do, I won't pry.
Friend would have been a strong word for it. I don't even remember his name, but I knew him. We had the same sort of life back then. Yeah.
I was just asking because the way you reacted to him seemed like you knew him far more intimately than just that.
Well, I mean, if you have the same life, the same circumstance as someone, you do kind of know them more intimately. You know what they're about, even if you don't spend too much time with them. So, he was a face I recognized, but in other ways more than that.
We'll lay a hand on her shoulder. If you want, I don't know what good it will do. I could say a prayer for Zim while I'm in the temple.
Won't make no difference.
Never know.
Just has me thinking about how easily that could have been me, and everyone else that I remember from back then, and how many are dead and how many ended up like him. And maybe if there are some more of them trying to get in the good graces of that bandit god king or whoever.
You can't control the actions of others. You made damn sure to get yourself out of that life. You should be proud of that. But
wasn't my choice. Somebody else dragged me along. Seems to happen a lot.
But you made the effort to get out and stay out.
If you say so.
Well, I, for one, Cor, am glad you're with us. We have already benefited far greater by you being here than not. You may or may not see it. We do. So thank you.
Thanks for saying it.
And then, as that said, as you said, this deserves a cheers moment. Both of you, grab your tankards. You're going to love this. Grab your tankards for me.
All right.
Ready? Now, on the count of 3, we're all going to scream, "Water!" All right? And we're going to clash our drinks, and then we're going to guzzle these like there's no tomorrow. Ready? Ready? You better be 1, 2, water!
Yeah, Core doesn't say anything.
We
And
both
then-
clank her mug and,
Yep.
of course, drink.
and guzzle it down in one shot for Creed.
Everyone looks over to you guys. It's not that rowdy here ever, so they're like, "Oh, all right. Well, I'm glad they're having fun."
How many are here? How many in the bar?
Probably about 20 at this point, and slowly starting to dwindle down.
What are you thinking, Novada?
I was thinking of buying a round, but that's a lot of college people.
How much is a drink?
About 3 silver.
Silver. Oh God, we're not that
Yeah.
rich.
No, we're not. Not yet. Not yet.
Well, if you pawned that stuff, you could have done it.
Then we couldn't. We'd have used it all to buy the healing potion.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
We have to be a little bit frugal at this point still. Well, continue.
No, I was gonna say Creed smashes the cup down, thinks about it for a second, then realizes that coin purse is a little too tight for another round. So that looks sadly down at her cup and puts it to the side. Well, actually, I wanted to ask you, Noada, a question, if you are willing. I'm feeling a little brave at the moment.
As he started to get up, he sits back down. Yes.
You said
I motion to the barmaid as she's talking, to the twirling pirouette lady.
yeah, like the
Susan,
Medieval tutu
no,
coming
Carol.
through.
Carol. Her name was Carol. I look around and I try and get Carol's attention and motion her 3 more.
You see, she nods to you, and she starts getting your drinks.
Noada, you're my favorite person right now. But then in all seriousness, when I first met you, I nearly put the same dagger between your eyes. You scared the shit out of me in that blacksmith shop. But that day, you just seemed intrigued and joined and followed us around town. We sent you on a wild goose chase. You found us later. Why did you stick with us? What was the deciding factor?
I don't know that I have the words to describe it. When the easiest way to describe it would be birds of a feather. However, in a deeper perspective, or in simply another facet, believe it or not, you were the most interesting thing I saw that day.
Is that a lot?
But more so, it seemed as if I had to. Let's just call it a brain tickle for now. And again, for lack of better terms, the two of you were much more than just interesting. I thought, as I often do, I didn't think that very many people, or very many instances, require or appreciate the finer things or the good things in life. That's not what I was able to perceive from the two of you, even without you saying anything. As you approached the blacksmith, I was already there, and of course, not necessarily hiding in the shadows because it's a blacksmith shop, but that fun first initial interaction was whimsical, and whimsical is so fun.
And Wanda, you keep talking like that, Cora's going to blush. I don't know what to tell you.
All I can tell you is that, and then it became the fun chase. As you sent me one way, and of course I found you again. I felt that...
Only a few hours later, when we were sitting there waiting for you, but you know.
Of course. But don't you find it intriguing that as you were waiting for me, almost as if you knew I would show?
Yeah, I did a hunch.
I'd-
Go ahead, Cora, sorry.
I'd just like to say that I don't blush.
You sure?
Of course you don't.
You've never seen it, at least.
I will put down 5 gold that I will make you blush. Not tonight, within the next 2 months.
I will happily take your 5 gold.
Fantastic. 2 months from now. Nawada,
Yes.
this might be a tad personal, but when you say it was an intrigue that drew you to us, and you found us fairly easily, I would assume, is that your own abilities, or was that perhaps your unseen friend? Just curious.
That's an interesting thought. I hadn't thought of it as such, but it certainly isn't, well, both, I guess, would be the smartest answer. I think that I'm adept at certain things as you become more and more aware. And although I believe that we do impart a direction of where we are going, sometimes the fates have more to say in a matter.
It's a fair statement. I can accept that. Has the barmaid showed up with drinks yet?
Yeah, she's already put them down.
Okay.
As you guys were talking, she's not going to interrupt you. And you're staying here, so she knows where to find you come morning. So
I make sure I pay her the, what is it?
It'd be a gold if you wanted to tip her with silver.
Yes, we'll do a gold.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, if you probably had that out on the table already, she took that, she put the drinks down, and she already slid away.
Yes, for sure. Before she leaves, can I get her attention?
Yeah, of course. She looks back to you.
Harold, you know, we are adventurers. We have come across some things upon our travels from various places, and wondering if you know of a place or a person that might be able to help us alleviate ourselves of said items. We are looking to specifically gain some items as well in trade or otherwise. We tried a couple of the local shops here, and they are a bit heavy with their coin requests. Wondering if maybe you could guide us.
She gives you a genuine smile. She's like, if you've already tried the local establishments, then you may want to look for private buyers. I don't know what you have that is of any interest to anyone. However, I'm sure someone may be willing to meet whatever coin requests you're looking for.
Very good. Very good. Well, if you happen upon somebody of that, I say we just have some weapons and some things that we have come across, some items, a sword here and there, a crossbow there, and wondering if anybody could lighten our load. We're looking to even out our wares and acquire a healing potion as well. And so if anybody of that ilk comes to your mind, if you'd let us know, that would be fantastic.
Do you find yourself in need of healing currently?
Nothing that a good night's sleep, of course, won't fix.
Sometimes that is the best answer. Well, we are a temple of Twyla here, so we do have access to many of those things as well. So, if you are interested in healing services or any other divine intervention, then feel free to come find me.
Very well. Again, as I say, we are looking for a potion of healing, and a place to frequent with more requests as they come up. So, looking basically to start trade and business with someone.
It's like, that sounds very interesting. Like, I need to get back, but I'm sure we'll talk more in the morning, probably.
Have a good evening. Thank you so much.
You as well. She returns back to the bar. Anything else you guys are doing out here tonight?
Not in the
Probably.
common area.
Time for Creed to go say her prayers.
Right?
Agreed. Let we finish our food, our drink. Let's make that happen, yes?
Creed downs her cup, scrubs her face, and just lets out the most tired, exasperated, not wanting to do this groan of her life. Yes, let's go do this. Heads towards the temple.
Okay. You head towards the temple. There's no one in there currently. There are some candles that are lit. Has a nice little flickering aura inside the room. There's a small temple, small altar. See, there are some chairs that are laid out. They probably do sermons and things like that here.
And there's nobody here currently?
There's no one there currently.
So is there any specific markings besides the temple? Is there the altar rather? Is there any marking on the floor or anything?
Nope. Very well maintained, very well kept. Nice marble floor.
The book to see if there's a specific way to pray to Twyla.
Yeah, if you follow the guidance of the book, you get a very rudimentary feeling on how you can venerate her.
Okay. But Cor and Noata is Creed very awkwardly and stiffly trying to do this. She's very uncomfortable.
Well, I'm right alongside you. I'm trying to mimic and do and read and whatever we can do. You're not doing this by yourself. I'm there with you.
Okay, perfect. She's
And
a little better about that.
Yeah, I motioned Core over. It was our suggestion.
Core is in the temple and isn't going through any of the motions like you two, but she is. Is there like a statue of Twyla or something?
Yeah, there's a statue it's up on the wall. There's a shelf that it's on. It looks like almost elven, maybe with some more fae features, woman who has her arms out. She has it's a marble statue, so obviously, there's no color to it.
Yeah. So Core's there with you. She's not doing whatever awkward gestures you guys are doing, but she is looking up at the statue and she looks intent upon it.
You guys feel very relaxed here. A lot of Port Basselorn since you've got here has felt very overwhelming, just kind of foreboding the entire time. Here seems safe for now.
I like that for now. Okay.
I take a moment. I walk up next to the statue. I look at Kor. I look at the statue. I turn my face into the statue. I put a big grin on my face. Is there anything you'd like to ask me? And then I wink, and then I go back to my Yuta face and rejoin Creed.
I think Kor would crack a smile, raise an eyebrow, crack a smile, and then go back to looking at the statue.
Did Creed see any of that? Or was my back to where Kor's standing?
I made it very apparent what I was doing. I walked right in front of you. There was no hiding it, because that's why I asked anybody else in the room so I could get away with stuff like that. And she is the goddess of trickery, so she would appreciate it.
I was gonna say, you felt like kind of like a ting, like all right, I see what you did there. That was That was kind of slick.
That's cute. All right. So I don't know how long we need to dance for, but however long that is, Creed does her little awkward Jimmy.
Dance.
I don't know what it is.
Sure. No, I like it. I like it.
It's a shimmy. That's what it is.
I'm dancing and shimmying. Fantastic.
Oh my god. And then once it's set on, she goes, and she's like mumbling under her breath. I just know what words to say otherwise. Thank you for allowing me into your temple. Appreciate you. Right. I think we're done here.
Yes, we gather ourselves up and off to the room unless anyone else wants to do anything else.
Right, you guys head back up to your room. Very nice room compared to what you've been staying in recently, whether that's the waterlogged leech or a barge or wherever you were before that, the butcher and the boar. Much cleaner, much more well-maintained, much more comfortable. The three of you probably have the best sleep that you've all had in a real long time. Especially you, Creed. You are no longer exhausted.
Yay! Oh, thank God. Thank Twyla.
And as sun breaks through through the windows of your room, and you all wake up fairly naturally, you go downstairs, have breakfast, and head back to the university, I'm assuming.
Before we go, can Creed ask Carla if she's got any pendants of Twyla?
Yeah, they do have commemorative holy symbols for Twyla.
Okay.
It'll be. Are you looking at a really nice one, or just an average one, or what are you looking for?
Some of them. Tell me that, and I'll let you know.
If you go for a very nice silver one, that's going to be 10 gold.
Ew, okay.
If you go for a small little wooden one, like a trinket, silver.
Okay. I will do a trinket one. For whatever reason, it makes Creed feel better just having that after having a good night's sleep. It just feels right. So she'll take a small one just to have.
And I take it from her and I give it back, and we take the silver one and I give them the 10 gold. It's worth it. You don't understand. To not have to have even the slightest opportunity for you to be with us whole is worth the investment.
You
Hands
didn't
it to
have
her.
to do that.
Before she even says anything, hands it to her, already gone.
Yeah, Core will also actually, shockingly, put some money into that.
I'll take 5 and 5.
Carol smiles to the group of you, and she's like, well, I hope to see you all again soon. It was great to have you all here. It's good to see some fresh faces every now and then, especially those that, she looks around, are interested in the dancing darling.
Thank you for your hospitality. It was very much appreciated.
Of course. Have a great day.
Is the pendant thing like a necklace chain, or is it like it goes in your pocket?
It's an amulet. You can fit in your pocket, or if you want to wear it around your neck. You know, there is a nice chain on it, too. And it looks kind of like a dream catcher. And in the middle, you see there is the apparition of a woman mixed in to make it more solid.
Creed's gonna put it around her neck, and underneath her armor where the dog tags sit, right on top of them.
Okay, excellent.
Well, should we head to the college?
Yes, let's make our way that way. We're hopefully we're early still and we can get there quite quickly.
Yeah, and hopefully he's still alive.
Speaking to that, Creed puts her hood up and would like to try to be stealthy, so just in case someone's tailing them and they just haven't noticed it.
Sounds good. All right, you guys head to the academy. You see, as you start to get closer, you see there's quite a few people out there. Whether this is just the early morning classes or something's going on, you see there are people that are trying to look in at this point. Maybe not all of them are students.
Can we see anything from this angle? From through the crowd?
As you start getting closer, you just see that there's a lot of students there, but now you see there's a lot of townsfolk here, and you're hearing people mumbling amongst themselves, like, that's the second animal attack in 2 days. You think they're going to find it? Yeah, they'll definitely find it. It's got to be big. It can't be hiding around here. Do you think we're in trouble?
Creed wants to push through the... Creed's gonna start pushing through the crowd. She wants to see if she can see what they're seeing to do an investigation of it.
All right, just give me an athletics roll.
Okay. I have a proficiency, just do straight?
Yeah, just whatever your normal athletics is.
Okay. Let's see, athletics. Okay. That is going to be a 14.
Okay. You're able to
Okay,
kind of
good.
shoulder and twist your way around people, and with Nawada and Core following you, you're able to kind of lead yourself inside. And now that you're inside, you hear more and more people talking, and you see more of the constables and the authorities from Port Basilorn here. As you kind of move your way upstairs, you see there's a large congregation of people in front of Corbin's office.
Oh no.
I knew it. God damn it.
I was going to suggest that we go and hang out with him, but I thought that might have been too forward when we first met him, but
I was thinking about it too, like we
Yeah.
should deal with this guy.
we should have powwowed it.
Feel free to give me perception rolls.
11 for Creed.
19.
I see nothing.
All right, for 19, as you guys are like, did we screw up? Should we have stayed with him? Like, I had a feeling something could happen. Core, you're looking through the crowd, and out of the corner of your eye, kind of up towards the front, you see Edwin. He doesn't see you, notice you at all. You, with a 19, you see he's talking to another man who's shorter than him. His head's completely bald. He has glasses and a handlebar mustache. He has nice clothes on. Looks like he could be a professor here.
Okay.
I make
and they're
note of that face and size.
okay. When she tells you about it, you will. But that's you just get out of the way now. That's fine.
Good point.
They're just talking back and forth. They're not moving. They're just observing what's going on. You see, after a few more minutes, you see. Go ahead.
Kor will carefully nudge Creed and Nawada. Don't move. Don't draw attention to yourself or anything, but your bookworm friend is over there talking to somebody who looks like they might be a prof here.
Taking a hit from Core, Creed will kind of back up more to the edge of like the flow of people, so she's not barrier. And she kind of almost squats down under her cloak, so she's a little bit shorter, not so tall in your face.
You're definitely able to mingle in without a problem. And Nawada, you're still Yuta, right?
I am.
Okay. I didn't know if you.
I was going to switch into Carol on our walk over here, but I didn't. So I'm still Yuta.
Okay, that's not a problem at all. You see the sea of students and onlookers kind of part as they bring a body wrapped up several times. There's still blood that's soaked straight through whatever wrappings they've used to contain the bodies as he's carried out. And they walk right past you with them. They don't give any of you a second look. You see there's a couple of detectives, for lack of a better term, in his office. They're still looking around, trying to make heads and tails of what's going on. But after the body leaves, you see Edwin and the professor start walking down the hallways, probably to one of the classrooms.
Can we tell it's the body is Corbin?
You're pretty sure it is.
Okay.
Only lead we've got. Do we want to follow?
Creed would agree. Yes, at the distance, but we should follow them.
Absolutely.
So you guys start to follow them. They're not looking around. They're really not paying attention. They don't expect anyone to be following them. So after a minute of walking down the hallway and turning and knowing the different corridors here, they come to a classroom. It doesn't seem like there's anyone else in there at this time, but they do go in together.
Is there a way to just listen at the door without them seeing us?
You could, yes.
Creed would like to do that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So as you go to the door and listen, Core does not, but Creed definitely hears them talking infernal to each other.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And you've heard Edwin speak before, so you definitely can identify his voice between the two. You're just going to assume the other one is the professor or a third person in the room. But as they're talking back and forth, you hear one of them, probably Edwin. Do you have any idea what it could be? Some sort of demon, I have a feeling. Why do you think so? It's too chaotic. There's no rhyme or reason to why it was done that way. Do you have any idea what's bringing this about? No. But I have a feeling that it's only going to get worse. What do you want to do about this? Part of me just wants to sit back and see what unfolds. We have no reason to get involved. This has nothing to do with us. This isn't our mistake. It may not be our mistake, but we may need to fix it. I understand what you're saying. I'm willing to wait to see what happens.
And I assume Nawada's keeping watch. I think I saw that in our chat.
No one is coming your way. It just seems that you have a good amount of time between classes, so you could go in there and talk. There's nowhere for them to go.
Was Edwin the one saying we need to fix it?
We might need to fix it, yeah.
That was Edwin, though?
That was Edwin.
Thank you. Okay. Creed motions to the party to back up. If we can find a spare room without crossing the doorway's threshold so they can't see us, like back up into a side room so I can tell them what I've heard.
You don't even need to back off like that. Like, they won't
Okay.
see you guys from your angles.
I'm more worried about them hearing me, but okay.
Also that.
Okay. She's gonna whisper to them both, relay what she just heard.
Because they know something. They say it's a demon.
But it sounds like they weren't involved in it.
It doesn't. They weren't involved with this demon, yes, but they're also acting like it's not their problem. I mean, they might have some involvement. If you don't break it, you don't buy it, sort of thing.
Well, it sounds like your bookworm is a little bit more concerned than the professor is.
Agreed.
I make note of the two gentlemen, and I'm gonna try and we're gonna try and track one of them and maybe engage in a side conversation at some point if we can.
Okay.
Maybe it'd be worth trying to talk to Edwin again.
I like that idea.
In a less scary manner than the last time you tried it, perhaps.
I wasn't that scared. I just said hi to the boy. In Infernal. Which I suppose is kind of scary.
Which is terrifying.
I suppose that's fair. Alright, I agree with Cole. We should try to single out Edward and be nice about it, I suppose.
Or maybe you go in blaming him for all this and see if he
Make him think we're
gives
Make
you
him think
the
we're wardens. Make him think we're undercover cops or something, or jailers.
You realize I could literally look like one of the wardens.
You
Nawada
could.
says it. You understand? See, I think you're forgetting. We have a capability here. All we need is the right clothing, or what have you. We could definitely do this.
Or the other option, of course, is they're stuck in a room right now and we could just walk in.
We don't know what they're capable of, though.
We could just simply walk in and ask them what they think. We haven't been forthright yet. We could try the approach.
You could walk in, but Edwin's going to freak his shit as soon as he sees me. Whatever you two decide, I will follow, but I'm uncomfortable just watching it.
I don't know.
So do these two they're more detective like, or are they part of the school?
Which two? I'm sorry.
Well, Edwin.
He's a student, and the other one
Right.
looks like he's a professor here.
And so they're the ones that are talking about it?
Yes.
Is there another professor maybe that's walking by that I could simply... but I'm not dressed like him.
I don't know. I think we could say we heard what you were saying and we want to know what's going on. Or something.
The simplest answer is the one right in front of you, that is true. Alright. Guns are blazing. Forward into the abyss, as they say.
If it goes well, that will work fine. If it goes the wrong way, I'm in either way.
I think we should try to get Edwin alone. He seems to give a shit about the situation. The other one does not.
He might have the information.
Maybe Edwin can get the information for us. I vote to tail Edwin.
I'm fine with whatever.
The spotlight is on you, Novata. What do you want to do?
Nawada, who looks like... I can't remember his name. The warden that we met on the road.
Yuda.
Not Yuda.
Simon.
Simon, can't remember his last name.
Walden.
Walden. He now looks like Simon. Winks and walks into the room.
Okay. You
Walks right up to the two of them.
walk in. They both look over as you arrive, and someone just kind of walks in unannounced. The professor doesn't seem to react much. Edwin narrows his eyes a bit and kind of perks up when he sees you. He's like, Sergeant Walden, what are you doing here?
Well, be honest. There has been an investigation that I have taken an interest in, as well as been put in charge. From the ghoul attacks back at the Red Raven to the attacks that are happening seem to have led here. It seems we have yet another body. What can you tell me about this?
He shakes his head. He's like, no, it was like that when I arrived this morning. Professor almost was walking through class, and this is my first class in the morning. So that's why we're here now. Other than that, I really don't have any information, sir.
Any insight? Do we know what caused this?
He shakes his head. He's like, well, they were saying it was an animal attack, was the second one so far in town.
This is not an animal attack. This appears to be the work of something much more fiendishly foul. So since I'm trying to figure out the what's happening here, the body did not look like it had been attacked by an animal.
The professor looks to you, and he kind of strokes his mustache. What does it look like it was attacked by then, Sergeant?
Hard to say that's from it looks similar yet dissimilar to some of the ghoul attacks we've seen. It looks very similar to the other body that was found by the law office, and and not only that, but an animal would have easily been seen in town. Too many people, too many witnesses. There are no claw marks. There are no random scat droppings. There's nothing. Yeah, this is something more foul.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, Sergeant.
Do you have
Edwin,
any thoughts on this?
Edwin doesn't say anything. He just kind of takes a seat. This is an alchemy lab, by the way. There's a lot of different beakers. There's some burners. A lot of components that are stored away here. He looks to you and kind of shakes his head. He's like, no. But I wish you the best of luck again. If it wasn't for your due diligence, we all may be in danger.
Might be best, Creed, to make our entrance and let them know that we know exactly what they said.
Let me just try something. See if we can scare them into talking to him. I'm going to. Can I see it all into the room from my angle, like any corner of the room?
Yeah, definitely.
Do I see any of the beakers on the tables?
No, not from the door.
What can I see from my angle?
You see the far wall. You see the windows. You see
windows, torches, benches.
Well, you see windows and tables.
All right. At the same time, I want to cast Thaumaturgy, make tremors, start shaking that side of the room, and I want to see if I can get the windows to kind of start clattering real fast.
Okay.
Really come out.
You do that. Nawada, that happens. You didn't know that was happening. They didn't know that was happening. Edwin kind of looks around. The professor glances up and over to the windows as everything starts shaking and smiles to himself. Cute.
All right.
Are you here alone, Sergeant, or do you have people assisting you? Kind of tilts his head, trying to see outside.
Oh, I assure you, I'm not alone. As the young warrior here can attest, I usually travel with companions. They are nearby. Why do you ask?
Curious. Gives you a bit of a smile.
If there's anything that you can tell me, either of you, it would greatly help. I would hate to see anyone else fall to this.
It would be a shame if I do come across any information. Then I will definitely get a hold of you. Are you with the local constables?
Yes, absolutely.
Very good. I will keep that in mind.
All right, this is far too annoying for Core. She's just going to walk into the room.
Okay. Core just walks right in. Edwin looks over and he kind of raises his brow. That's an even bigger shock than seeing the sergeant. The professor looks over. He's like, "Can I help you, ma'am?"
All right, fess up. We know what you said.
I don't know what you're talking about.
In Infernal.
He pauses for a second, looks you over. It's like, what did I say?
That it's a demon attack.
No, what a gasp. A demon.
He shrugs. He's like, it's good to have a well-rounded language source of words to draw from, as I don't have words. It's good to have a good repertoire of languages.
That's awesome. I've got no words, but I'm talking about words.
Oh, don't worry, Professor. I tongue tie all the boys.
He raises his brow as a third person enters. That
Well,
one.
that's what she shouted that she's like that it wasn't your problem. So I thought he already knew I was in the room. But all right.
Okay. Edwin raises his brow at that one and kind of glances at the door and kind of skirts away.
Not so fast, young man. You and I have words. She points at him. Like, stop right there.
Well, he wasn't going anywhere.
Oh, I thought he was running. Damn it!
No,
Okay.
no. Like he skirted away from the door when he heard your voice.
Got it.
The professor just kind of shrugs and throws his hands up in the air. He's like, "Do you have anyone else that would like to come in to talk while we have time before I have class?"
I could bring people in if you want. We can make a spectacle.
It'd be unfortunate for you. I'm a tenured professor here. No one knows who you are.
Yeah.
Besides some eavesdroppers.
Let's get to it so we can get out of your hair.
I do like the sound of that.
Creed shuts the door behind her.
He slides his hand through his bald head and kind of shakes his head. So
Creed tickles her ear.
he raises his brow at that. He seems confused.
Oh, I thought you did the sign. Okay.
Yeah, you did think he did the sign.
That's true.
But he doesn't react to it. He looks to the group of you. He's like, "So, why are you here? You've obviously been doing more than following." He motions to Edwin. "So, what is your goal? Or is this all just coincidence?"
Oh, what I just did you?
It's like it's basic, rudimentary magic.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. What I just did, you didn't... You don't know.
He still looks confused. He's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. And time is limited as I'll have a class here soon. So, I would suggest any questions that you have to ask them quickly."
Are you with the Church of Stella?
Of course not.
Gratus?
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Inside check.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, the stupid 4.
Mine was
Alright.
10.
Alright, you don't think he's lying. He does raise his brow when you ask about that.
Nuwada got a 22.
Okay. Nawada, you think that he is telling the truth. He is being completely forthright with you. With that, you don't think he's part of the Church of Gratus, but you do see his interest peaks a bit when that's mentioned.
I say to him, "Professor, we're here to help. Let us help. Guide us so we can get out of your hair. Guide us."
He shrugs. He's like, "I don't know what you're looking for guidance for. I don't have any information that you don't already have, Sergeant." He says that kind of with a question mark to his voice. He looks back to you, Creed. He's like, "Why do you mention the Cult of Gratus?"
I mentioned the Cult of Gratus because there's been a case of mistaken identity, and they seem to have a keen reaction to our party, and we think the demon is part of that. Now, if you don't want to end up like unfortunate Professor Corbin, you need to tell us what you may know so we can keep you alive.
Yeah, they're here somewhere. And
Nightmares, all of that.
it sounds like, what were you saying? You didn't cause this, but the way, if you had to say that, that means you've been doing something, right? Maybe not this demon, but you've been dabbling with something, haven't you?
He shrugs. He's like, "You're free to assume that." He stands up. Oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, she said I will.
Perfect. He walks up, or stands up, and he walks over to the back of the room, and he goes through some overstock of an herbal supply that they use for their alchemy, and he takes a pamphlet out from it and walks over and puts it down on one of the tables in between everybody, so whoever wants to get to it can get to it.
Creed will go up to it.
You see the 5-pointed star with the eye in the middle, the same that you saw on the Cultists of Gratus, showing that they're tattoos.
The tattoos, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, stumbled across that.
We stumbled across a few folks with this on their bodies.
He's like, that's great. Like, look it over.
Snatch it
Arcana
up.
check? Arcana check it, or?
No, you don't need to Arcana check it. But you look it over and you see it's a pamphlet, a small flyer, almost a recruitment manual for Gratus, and what Gratus can offer, and how when Gratus rises, that all those that fear him will tremble at your feet. Give me an investigation roll. If you're looking at it.
The advantage roll. 16.
16 is a good number. You're looking through it, and you're reading just a lot of propaganda to join the religion, to join the cult. But every now and then, like, something just doesn't seem right for you. Then you go back and you double check it, and you see there's quite a few spelling errors, quite a few typos on it.
Is there a decipher that goes with this?
He shakes his head. He's like, no. Why?
Look at the spelling. They've misspelled several words. This must spell out something. Do you have pen, paper nearby?
I just start rummaging through the desk trying to find pen and paper.
Yeah, you can find pen and paper without a problem.
I want to start writing the letters out in order.
Okay.
As they show up in the sentences.
Okay. As you're doing that, you don't come up with anything. Nothing.
What about the letters that were supposed to be there? Maybe.
Oh.
It's like transpose letters, like TEH or NIG TMARE.
In the wrong spot. They're not different.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Or, some may be spelt wrong, like wood and wood, or weather and weather.
I put the words that are misspelled on the paper, trying to make a sense out of them as they come in order. Like,
Don't make
spell
sense.
them nothing? Okay.
Nothing. You don't come up with anything out of it.
Professor, do you mind if we take this with us?
He nods. He's like, by all means.
Very well. We don't need to do this here. We can. Thank you very much. Is there anyone who might have targeted the professor that was killed?
He shakes his head. He's like, if you think this has something to do with it.
Ooh.
What do you plan on doing once you unravel this mystery? Saying it's not too late.
I plan to burn the whole fucking thing to the ground. These people stole so much of my fucking sleep, I swear to God. Of course, for the better good as well, but...
First order is to try and stop these demon killings, if we can. If not, we definitely want to find out exactly how far the tendrils reach of this Gratus.
As much as I don't care for the lot of you, I also don't care for Gratus either. He walks over.
Sorry, bud.
He walks over to one of the tables, the main table, and he takes 2 flasks off it. And he places them on the table and kind of dismisses you all with a wave of his hands. He's like, take these. Don't say I didn't help.
What are they?
He looks amongst the three of you. He's like, they'll keep you alive.
Did anyone else
Insight.
tell you you're annoying?
19 insight. Will they
Nice.
keep us alive?
Yes. You
Great.
don't.
Just wanted to make sure he wasn't trying to. Never know.
Set us up.
It's
Lead us
it's-
to our deaths.
it definitely seems like you may not like him or care for him or whatever's going on, but he does seem willing to help to a degree.
All right.
You said something. You said that it's a demon, but it's too random.
He's like,
Why do you think it's random? Why did you say that?
devils have laws they follow. There's rhyme and reason to what devils do. Demons, however, are creatures of chaos. You telling me that this is Gratus, who is a chaotic entity, would make sense that a demon would be associated with him or his followers.
But if the people who were killed were people who were opposing him, is that random still, or?
It was a very messy attack, wasn't it?
Suppose it was.
Didn't seem to care if it was caught, I'd imagine, seeing as how much blood was in the room. And from what you're telling me that there was a second attack, I'm assuming it was probably very similar.
Yeah.
But targeted.
Well,
Speaking of which, you might want to get out of town. This seems to follow us, so...
Well, I think it. I don't know about us, but maybe.
I'll definitely take strong consideration to that.
Thank you, Professor, very much for the wards.
He nods. Now, I have a class coming up soon.
Yes, of
Great.
course.
Creed will take the scroll, roll it up, put it in the bag.
And you take the potions?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have one. Whoever wants to take the second one. I think Core's got the normal potion.
Yeah, Core has a health potion, so.
Okay. Just put down Professor Omos Potion 1 and Potion 2.
I'll take potion.
Grab them all for now. We'll figure it out in a moment. We'll figure it out soon.
Okay. We should sneak out a side door.
There are so many people around. It's simple to sneak out with a group.
We'll just walk. I look like a warden. We're good. I'm a little bit big and burly. We'll just walk.
Yes, walk. No issues. People move out of your way.
Yeah, we walk like with authority, like we know what we're doing. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, go.
All right, and you guys are able to get out of the building without any issue.
Wow. Nice
We
job,
should-
Core.
Very good job.
Well done.
You know, you two can be pretty annoying when you try and talk in circles around people. So, sometimes just getting to the point is better.
Agreed. Sometimes direct is the right way. Again, well done. Where next?
Might be hindsight, but should we have asked if there was a professor that specializes in text and decoding shit?
I think the professor Corbin, that was his name, right? He said there were cultists in town. They'd been coming to town for a while or something, and that I think he was saying that it'd be good for Nawada to take on Alvin's appearance and maybe try and make contact, see what we can learn. That might be a good step.
Yeah. The other thing that we might consider doing is investigating, since we're still on campus, investigating the professor's office.
Yeah.
That's just a good idea. I might get more information of where our friend's gone.
Also, might be worthwhile to see if we can find out where anyone else from this Church of Stella is.
Sounds like we want to go check out the office if it's possible.
Not going to be possible. It's a crime scene. There are a lot of detectives and everything in there. A lot of people still around.
The office?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps we can come back this evening when the crowd dies down. Students have gone home. But for now, we need to find a place to potentially have Novada change his face, put on his makeup, and see if we can't decipher this scroll or this pamphlet. I think we should prioritize the pamphlet and find a spot to look at it.
Yeah. As long as it's actually a clue and it wasn't just an idiot who wrote it.
That would suck.
We could also simply try reading it, but I think there might be something there.
What language is it in? Is it in Common or is it like in Infernal or something?
It's in Common.
Okay.
Also, it's not handwritten. It's printed.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if I made that clear before.
You did. No.
Okay.
Where's the printing press?
The evil cult does not list the printing press name on it.
That's fine. Where in town is there a printing press? Is there one?
There are 3 printing presses in town.
Okay.
I would like to investigate if the text matches, like, I assume the printing presses have signs, like calligraphy signs or some sort. I want to see if the pamphlet matches any calligraphy I see in the windows, signs, etc. as we pass them.
Okay. And are you, the 3 of you, going as yourselves? And when I say yourselves, I mean Alvin, or are you going as someone else?
What is Nawada doing?
Right now, Nawada looks like Simon.
But when you start going to the printing presses.
Do you want to stay as Simon, or do you want to change your face, is what he's asking.
Oh, I get you. I don't know what we think.
It's a good question.
Yeah, I'm not going to just make that determination for the group. Right. I mean, I'm good. I could throw some possibly some situational things out there, but we're going something very specific. So I think we need to come up with a plan, and then we'll be able to decide that. So is our goal simply to try and figure out?
I think
They just printed this.
I mean,
Well, it looks kind of old. It's crumpled up. It looks like it's found its way there from the trash.
it might not have even been printed here, yeah.
Yeah.
Or it was incorrect.
Okay.
And it was trashed.
You know,
Oh.
okay. Right now. Oh, interesting. Right now, we only have one real. Okay, we kind of have an ally with the professor now a little bit, but the only person that we really have an ally in, Jeb, kind of, right? He's a connection, but Carol back at the inn. I think we should go that route and see what she might know.
Call. Maybe she does know something. Or can at least point us in the direction of someone being a local.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we have to either expand our network or use what we already have.
This goes to the inn. This tavern. I feel worlds better in there, anyways.
The obvious approach to this is eventually for me to take on Alvin's face and then go into the church or whatever. But we don't even know where that is yet, and we certainly don't know how they're going to perceive me.
If we think it's possible that these were printed in town, then it would make sense to go to the printing presses as Alvin and see if anyone recognizes you. And then we would know which press it's being printed at, and
that would work too. Well, I'm down with that.
I say printing presses. That just feels a little more likely at this point.
Well, I'm going to, I'm going to stay in Simon. Well, I'll probably switch over to Yuta. I don't think Yuta's not around here, right? He's back in Delicate.
You have no idea.
Dude, I know. This is why I choose dead people. It's so much easier. They're not walking around. So at this point, we're pretty confident Simon isn't here. He has no reason to be here, so we're going to stick with Simon. But as we approach the printing presses, as we basically go through the door, I will change into Alvin as we enter, and I'll just try and use my 2 meat shields.
Okay.
Appreciate you too.
I'm just saying. You guys are far better armored than I am.
You go into the first printing press. You don't get any reaction. They talk to you. They ask what you need. No big deal. The second one you go to is Astoria's Press. And when you walk in, everyone that's kind of working, going about their day, they look up and they see Alvin, and they kind of do a double take. And then everyone pauses, and one reaches over and scratches his ear.
Of course, do the fingers through the hair, rolling the shoulders.
They all seem to kind of perk up a bit, and one of them makes their way over to you. Nightmare Speaker, we're so thrilled that you could join us. Tomorrow night, it's going to happen again. And that's where we're going to stop.
huzzah!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 6 of Dorks Are Dangerous. Let me be fair, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary, as I will respect everyone's pronouns. Welcome to episode 6 of Dorks Are Dangerous. I am Johnny Patches. For Bruce, Haley, and Michelle, thank you for joining us. And you can join us for Table for D4 if you follow us on Patreon. Otherwise, check us out on social media. And get ready for the explosive finale of Chronicle 1 next week. Goodbye.